Hello, everyone. Welcome to Across the Bifrost, the Mighty Thor podcast, where on each and every episode, we explore the world of Marvel's Mighty Thor. For this discussion, we are going to dig into some recent MCU stuff that's been going on. Most of the time on the show, we are pretty comics obsessed. We're pretty comic centric, unless like a big Avengers level thing comes out. We'll talk about that. But the Avengers Doomsday trailer has come out, and I know this is old news to most of you because you're going to watch the trailer. You're going to watch the Rockstars episode where they break down all the Easter eggs. I was actively trying to stay away from the trailer, and Eric saw grainy footage of bits and pieces of the trailer, right?
Yeah, the trailer happened to me. I didn't see the trailer. The trailer happened to me.
Same.
And so I've seen the trailer.
So Eric and I were kind of the same mind of like, we'll watch it once, and then like we'll just like let the movie happen. We didn't want to like spoil the movie ahead of the entire thing. But I went to see Spider-Man: Brand New Day, and like Eric just said, the trailer happened to me, and it would have been really awkward for me to slip out and be like,
cover your eyes. No, I can't.
This stuff, like, no, just get me to my Spider-Man movie, please. So we figured we'd talk about the Avengers Doomsday trailer, which had Thor all over it. And then we would give you our spoiler-free, no spoilers for Spider-Man Brand New Day, and our thoughts, our impressions of that film that we both saw just yesterday at the time of this recording. So, Eric.
Although at this rate, I'm pretty sure the entire country has seen it already, because didn't it like break every opening weekend record or something like that?
It definitely broke opening day records.
Yeah.
That was beyond impressive.
That's bananas.
Yeah. Like, I think there's so many things about that movie that I really enjoyed. And while the thoughts are still fresh, we wanted to just let you know what we thought about that. It was spectacular. But before that movie, I saw the Doomsday trailer for the first time. Boy, howdy, Eric. I think we're up for another like Avengers, but really a Thor movie.
Yeah.
What were your first impressions of the theater, of the trailer, and maybe like some more Thor world specific thoughts on the trailer?
I mean, the very first takeaway as a Thor fan is, and I guess we can't necessarily conclude this from the trailer,
right?
Because just because Thor is in a lot of the trailer doesn't mean he's going to be all over the movie. But it would make sense that if you have a returning OG Avenger, right, in a major expensive movie, you're going to want to have him at the forefront. And so fingers crossed, we're going to get Thor basically at the forefront. And it seems like I don't know if he's the leader, but he is a leader. He's helping kind of rally people around and letting people know about a threat. Like, he's bringing the news to them to bring people into this conflict, as opposed to just being a side part. And actually hyping up for the movie that's coming out, I went back and read Secret Wars, and the original Secret Wars, Thor's like not even in it. He's not like really. Barely. He's in like a page of it. I'm like, I'm going to read this and get ready for the movie. He's like not even. So seeing him all over the trailer was a lot of fun, because I hope we get a lot of Thor, just like we did in Infinity War, where we keep saying that that's really like a Thor movie. I'm hoping that we get the same thing with this.
Yeah. I mean, to maybe our co-hosts would disagree maybe, but Thor Infinity War. See, I even did it. Avengers Infinity War is like kind of the best Thor movie. And I guess in my opinion, it would be that. It won our March Madness bracket way back when we did the MCU movies. But this trailer, Eric, was phenomenal. Like, I love that we saw snapshots and snippets of all these different heroes coming together to face the threat of Doom. But really, it's Thor that got those one-on-one shots of him fighting Doom, and him and Doom going back and forth. To my recollection, again, I was my first time seeing it, and haven't gone and like done the deep dive Easter egg thing. I don't want to do that. I want the impression, and then I want to go watch the movie. The impression I got was, this feels like it's building up to a climactic one-on-one confrontation between Thor and Doom. And you're right, Thor is pretty much the OG representation of what the Avengers were in this context, and he is that elder statesman. He may not, like you said, he may not be that the leader per se, but he is that, like, they all look to him and they know what they know what he's done in the past.
Yeah.
And they know what he's capable of against a threat like this. Were there any other aspects of the trailer that you were like, oh, I can't wait to see, and like, I can't wait for more of that when you were watching it?
I wonder if they're doing the same kind of thing that they did with Infinity War, and that is to only show clips from like the first like third of it or something like that to keep a lot of it a secret. If they do, although I have seen statements from MCU creators who are basically saying like, don't be so concerned about things being spoiled. Like, I don't know if it was the Russo brothers, but basically their attitude about spoilers is like not as end of the world as it used to be. It's like, if something comes out before the movie comes out, you're still going to enjoy the movie. Like, trust us. It's not ruined just because you hear something, but like, hopefully there still are quite a few surprises. I'm kind of wondering, based on the context, if Thor is going to have a run-in with Doom, because he's the only one, when he's like swinging the axe, he's like the only one around.
Right.
So maybe that's a really early run on, and then he goes back realizing he's going to need to rally the troops or something like that. So maybe that's some context there, but I guess we'll see. And now we know for sure, because this has been rumored for a long time, but now it's definitive that Chris Evans is back. And so we've got OG Avenger Chris Hemsworth and OG Avenger Chris Evans. The Chris's reunite.
And it feels so good. Well, and even we get to hear a little bit of Downey's Doom voice,
which I'm so thankful is not cringe, because there's so much riding on that voice to be like, is it going to be some like weird, like mocking Eastern European people? Is it going to be some weird? It sounds really diabolical, and it almost sounds like a completely like fictitious sort of like movie villain accent that they created just for this. It doesn't sound like he's just doing like a Polish accent or something. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, it sounds sort of fantasy.
Right. Yeah, no, I agree. I really liked that because initially, once I heard the beginning of his narration, I was like, is that? Oh my gosh, it is. And like, it took me a split second to realize that I think we're going to get to see Robert Downey Jr. do a lot of acting and not just play like Robert Downey Jr. the guy, but like turned up to 11.
Yeah.
Because in most of his roles, especially like as Tony Stark, it's his like vibe, but turned up to 11 and given kind of free reign to do a lot of his shtick. But I think with Doom, I'm more excited. I don't know if this is a discourse on the internet with him as Doom now, maybe more initially, but I am more excited to see him as Doom now, because to see him cut loose as an actor, as an Oscar nominated actor, that is the part of the movie that I'm like, I'm here for all the Thor stuff. I'm here for the Loki stuff that we saw in the trailer.
Yeah.
I am more here for Doom now, because of not just the character, but of the portrayal of the character now.
I totally see what you're saying. It's not just Robert Downey Jr., charismatic, slightly abrasive, and wealthy. He's actually acting, right? He can do that. He's a good actor.
Yeah, right.
And so he's not just, being a sort of a charismatic douchebag.
Eric, so the other thing I wanted to talk about was Spider-Man Brand New Day. The brand new MCU movie. This was another one where I thankfully I was able to go into this movie without having seen a full trailer. It was the first MCU movie in forever that I've done that with. And most of that was not like this antagonism towards any like Easter egg or all that spoiling the movie before you even see it kind of thing. It was more that I so trust Tom Holland as Spider-Man now that I just want to see him do Spider-Man stuff.
Yeah.
And without any spoilers, as we promised, this movie delivers on Tom Holland being Peter Parker, being Spider-Man, and just excelling. That was the main takeaway I had from a from a performance aspect coming out of this movie, did you have like you walk out of the theater and you're like, wow, this was the thought that I walked out with?
Yeah, absolutely. I think I've got two major takeaways. Let me see if I can remember these. So the first is I agree. I think a lot of fans are reacting to just make a good Spider-Man movie. And that's literally what they did. Like, there is a lot more time when the character is in costume on camera.
Yes.
Right? There's a lot of times in superhero movies where they really the costumed appearance is only in a couple of fight scenes, but otherwise the character is sort of just like going about their day.
Yeah.
And I can see why you would do that. If you're paying money to have a famous actor in a movie, you want to see their face. Like, you don't want to have it hidden the whole time.
Right.
But there are so many scenes and long scenes and just everyday scenes where you see Spider-Man in costume, like sitting in a chair, talking with someone. And it's like, it seems so weird at first. I mean, it seems so normal, but that's what he would do. Like, if he was in that, if he's in a police station, he's talking with people and he's still in costume because he's, So I thought that really made it feel extremely grounded. And I think that one of the things when I was watching the trailer for this, I was like, I don't know who the major villain is. We keep seeing things with like the hand with like, and that's on like a lot of the posters where like they're in the red and they're like coming in with the Scorpion. And so it's like hard to kind of nail down, well, who's the big bad? And you don't always have to have a movie that has one major big bad. I think it was a great combination where you did have some things that were sort of being solved along the way.
Yeah.
You had a lot of just little extra interactions with like street level villains, little cameo villains. We know the Hulk is in this. And so that was, I think, a logical way to introduce that kind of a conflict. I guess the Punisher stuff was awesome in this. That's probably my favorite part. Honestly, the Punisher stuff was my breakout. Like, I'm not a big Punisher fan. I'm not a big Punisher TV show fan. And I was loving the character, the acting. I thought it was great.
So that was my other big takeaway. I guess if I like yourself, if I had two, was wow, Tom Holland was awesome was number one, and number two was the chemistry of this cast was top. Like Zendaya and Tom Holland, they're fantastic on screen together. Their romance is obviously in real life it's believable, but on screen it's also believable. Ned and Peter getting to have more scenes. That was great. I loved Mark Ruffalo coming into this movie and getting to see that, that different side of Hulk that we haven't seen in a minute. But also, I think Jon Bernthal and Tom Holland are just great on camera together, because I just recently went to, like every other person on planet Earth, I went to see The Odyssey, and their scenes in that movie are great together. They have a few dialogue scenes together, and that's great. But then in this, they have a different kind of interaction and a different kind of banter, but it's just as good. It's just as deep. It feels lived in. They feel like they actually talk like that to each other. And so their interactions were fantastic. And I really, really appreciated that. Yeah, at the end of the day, man, it was a good Spider-Man movie of Spider-Man being Spider-Man.
That's got to be so hard to do when they're in scenes together like that, and they're in the Odyssey, and then they're in Spider-Man. Like, you got to like they're doing different voices, subtly different character movements and mannerisms, and that they're really embodying the characters, and to not like accidentally switch back into like a different character. So that's really impressive, and I think this is such a fun year so far of like the movies are back. I keep saying it, like the movies are back. It feels fun. It's also exciting where there's like other people have been seeing the same stuff, and I can talk to people at work about, oh my gosh, did you see this? Like, so did I. Like, we have this shared experience then.
The water cooler talk nature of it, and I we say that a lot in our group chat where a movie will hit it big and everyone's talking about it, and either Eric or Faz or myself will be like, guess the movies are back, and we've only said it like a dozen times now, so it must be true. But I love that idea that's like, oh, streaming is going to kill movies. No, this is going to kill movies, that's going to kill movies. A good movie, and dare I say a great movie, will get people to a movie theater to experience it in a way that it can't be experienced at home or on your phone or on a computer or on a TV. Like, and I think Spider-Man feels big. It feels, especially in how it was shot, like the web swinging scenes, it feels big. It feels like you are with Spidey on this adventure. And that was one of the first things that really like struck me in the movie was, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm in this. I feel like I'm in this world. I'm not just watching, a guy swing on a wire. They're like putting me in the mask. They're putting me in the place of Spidey in this. And it made the movie feel big. And it made me so thankful that I was like, yeah, I'm at a movie theater with other people enjoying this thing together. It was awesome. Any other final thoughts on Brand New Day, Doomsday, before we shut this one down, Eric?
I mean, I know this is not like a full-fledged movie review. I will say that, I mean, the movie was, there were parts of it that I think the word I saw was messy at times because there's just so much that happens. You definitely get your money's worth because there's a lot of different sub-threads all kind of happening. And usually I'm the kind of person where I enjoy a little bit more simple and straightforward, like in Infinity War. There's a big bad guy we have to stop, and that's the whole movie, right? There's a lot of different complexity, but I think that's what Spider-Man fans like because they love to put Peter through the ringer and to have a bunch of like terrible shit happen to him and he keeps getting beat down. That's kind of that's a core feature of the character. So I think that's what they really nailed. A lot of fun and great to see that, there's creators out there that still know like how to do it. And when you do it just right and you nail it and you kind of, people are going to realize that. And it's not the marketing budget that's doing it. It's the quality of the product that is bringing people in.
Yeah. Yep. Couldn't agree more. Well, hey, if you enjoyed our thoughts on the Avengers Doomsday trailer and how that relates to Thor and what we might be getting from the God of Thunder and Doctor Doom and the rest of the heroes in that trailer, I hope you were able to take something from that, or maybe you just were curious about what two guys on the internet thought about that, because there's no shortage of that. but also go see Spider-Man Brand New Day. Like, it is a fun movie, and I took Eric knows my kids are 9 and 10, and Logan is my son is 9, and he sat there transfixed on that screen the entire time. Like, he loves all the obscure like Spider-Man villains. So when they showed a certain villain his equipment, they were like, he was like, oh my gosh, and like there's other kids around. It's like, what is that boy freaking out about? And like, he's freaking out about this. But there was so many different references that he picked up on. I was like, you know what? I think I'm raising a pretty cool dude, actually. this guy's all right. But it's a lot of fun. You should go see it. And if you have a moment, leave a like and a comment and a subscription here where you're finding this video. If you're listening on audio, leave us a review. We would love to read that on the show. And if you want to talk to us more, we have a Discord. Link is in the episode description. We have an Instagram that you can follow along with. And we also have a Patreon if you feel like supporting the show at that next level. All those links can be found there below. But until we see you next time, and we're going to hop over the Rainbow Bridge, and we're going to go off into a summer full of fantastic comics that we are dying to read. We are so close to Thor 800, and we could not be more excited about it. So if you want to follow us on this journey, just come back for the next one. Until then, whether you are anticipating a movie in December, whether you are going to see a Spider-Man movie this summer, we just hope you do one thing, and that is stay worthy.